Dave made this beat.
Welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 153. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy in the building. What's good, everybody? How you doing, dog?
I'm doing good, man. I am definitely glad to be back with you, man. Glad to chop it up with you on some sports things because definitely a lot going on. You know, we've had a little flurry of news going on this week, so definitely a lot to get into. And I always love being with my SLAC brother, that's for sure. So how are you doing, though? What's good with you? Anything new?
No, I'm doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? I think I mentioned to you guys a little while ago about, finally getting monetized on one of my things on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? So just trying to bring some funds in, it's nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? But your brother's made a couple extra $100, you know what I'm saying? Well, it's like between TikTok and Instagram, it's like $400. So you know what I'm saying? So
that's legit.
I'll take it, you know what I'm saying? That's that's the phone bill, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I'll take it, bro. Like, as long as it just keeps
so cool.
Like, those are, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of a win for me, you know what I'm saying, for the month of July. But, just like we keep talking about, just trying to keep moving and progressing and learn from everything we're doing so that we can eventually be doing this full time, you know what I'm saying? So,
100%.
Yeah, so I was really happy about that. Wanted to share with the squad and everything, but
yes,
man,
absolutely,
a lot of sports stuff going on over the last, I think, just a couple of days, let alone over the last week. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I couldn't wait to talk about it today. So, let's get it popping.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's welcome in a few people real quick.
Absolutely.
Definitely. We got Kelly Williams in the building. Happy Tuesday. We got Ant coming in. What's up? Yeah, definitely lots of stuff going on. Mom's in the building as well. And Ant says, congratulations. Definitely, yeah, congratulations on that, man. That's what's up. That's definitely progress, and those things will turn into bigger things. So congratulations on that. And definitely want to say thank you to all the people that support us in everything we do. Pops chiming in as well. Good evening. Definitely couldn't do it without y'all. And we love having you guys as a part of the show. So as we go through our topics, as we normally do, don't be afraid to throw your comments out there. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. It definitely helps other people see the show, that see what's going on. So also got Unc in here. Hello from Texas. What's good? Glad you made it back home safely from that wonderful, beautiful trip that you had. So, yeah, that's what's up. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull up our graphics so we can get this thing popping. Like we said, SLAC 153 already. Time seems to be flying by, but we definitely got a lot to get into. So let's fire up our first topic here. What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tune to NFL Talk.
Let's get it. All right, NFL Talk. Definitely a lot going on for NFL Talk. 38 days till kickoff. We got some news that we've been waiting to get for a very long time, actually over a year ago. First hearing about, Deshaun Watson's allegations, and then how's that exposed and as that unraveled. It's been a long time coming, but the NFL did hand down their suspension. We're definitely going to talk about that. We want to get your guys' comments about that. A few other things going on with training camp and some new contract things, a couple people getting paid. But before we get too far into NFL talk, I do want to take a chance to round out our panel, get the third member of our panel in here, and that's our brother Marcus. What's good, Marcus? How you doing?
What's up, man? Let me know if it's kind of shaky a little bit. My internet tripping over here.
Got you.
Sounds straight right now.
Coming in loud and clear. Thank you for jumping in. Thank you for being here. I definitely want to get your thoughts on everything that's been going on these last couple of days. But so we're kind of starting off with the Deshaun Watson, definitely the biggest news of the offseason. He did sat out all last year, but was never under any official punishment. There was, a case of sorts where there was information presented during June. And then last, Monday, we got the ruling, 6 games for Deshaun Watson. He would be suspended, no fines, and then he'll be ready for action week 6 of the NFL season. So I definitely wanted to get your guys' thoughts, and then also, hear what the slackers out there are thinking too about this one. too long, too short? Is this just right, or how do you think the suspension is? Strizzy, I want to start with you.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's not enough. I feel like it's a little too short. And the reason being is just I feel like I understand that when you start, you know, settling cases, it's still not a technical admission of guilt, you know what I'm saying? But in a sense, I just at a certain point in time I just felt like the amount of massage therapists that he had was entirely too many. They're all 100% women. And, you know, just being able to read some of these women's, you know, testimony stuff inside of their actual their court, the cases, the civil cases, it just seems like you know, he might actually have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might legit actually have a problem. He didn't rape anybody. Nobody, you know, accused him of actually being like raped or anything like that. It was other things. But I feel like the NFL, you know, you can go back to like Big Ben or you know, Ray Rice, you know, just those type of things. Like, I feel like they don't put a lot of I won't say they don't take it seriously, but I feel like it's kind of light-weighted in a sense, you know what I'm saying, when these situations come on, compared to other things. I mean, you look at somebody like Calvin Ridley, you know, he's suspended for the year for gambling once, you know what I'm saying, on a parlay that wasn't even a big one. So he's out for the year for that, but Deshaun gets 6 games. So I don't know. I feel like 6 games was not enough, but we'll see.
Yeah. Marcus, what did you think? Or do you want me to jump in first on this one?
Yeah, you can go. You can go ahead.
So, for me, I was surprised that it was only 6 games. I'm not saying that I necessarily wanted him to get more, but I just thought as how much it dragged out and how much publicity was surrounding it in the kind of a negative light, I did think that it would get more.
Yeah.
But like Strizzy, like you kind of talked about, some of those other suspensions have been a little bit lower, and I think they kind of have set their precedence that this is kind of what it was. Also, the fact that it wasn't necessarily the NFL that was making the decision, it was kind of like an individual arbiter. You know, they looked at the information and kind of the same as the actual court trials too. There just wasn't a lot of evidence there, so
Yeah.
it definitely looks bad. But I guess if we look at it, maybe 6 games is like almost appropriate just based on the fact that there's not a lot of evidence of wrongdoing. It just doesn't look good and it just doesn't feel right, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is kind of interesting though. Let's see. Marcus, you want to weigh in?
Yeah. I think I'm the opposite. I think it's too many games. Only because we don't know the whole truth. And for this to happen, if I always go back to the beginning. If he would never try to leave Houston, would we even know about this? So to me, I don't know the whole detail, but I don't think none of those ladies was forced to do anything they did or what happened. Like, we don't really know. So I think the judge probably know more details than we know. That's probably why she did 6 games, because she's a woman. To me, if it was like something really crazy, I think she would have did the whole year. So I think they know something that we don't know. So, and you can't just throw away last year. Last year he didn't play at all. And we can say, oh, it had nothing to do with that, but he didn't play all year last year, even though he did get paid, but he didn't play last year. So that's where I'm at on that part. I think maybe I thought it would be 6 to 8 games. So yeah, I think so. But I think the NFL, if they don't make a ruling make the appeal by tomorrow, I think he's gonna get 6 games. But they do it. I think tomorrow we'll know if they're gonna do the rest of the season. But I don't think he'll do it. I think, like I said, I think it's inappropriate, I would say, what he probably will happen with the thing. But like I said, I don't think it was forced. I think they know it wasn't forced, and I think they got to take into consideration. If he would never left Houston, that owner, whoever it spilled it out, they knew about it maybe a year or so before that happened. So I just feel like when the judge contacted those ladies, they like, hey, you can get this, and they gonna get their money too. So like I said, I think it was inappropriate, but I don't think it was anything forced, anything illegal he did. I just think it was just something. He got, like you said, he had a little problem. So, and I think the thing with we said Ridley, he that's a rule, not to do what you shouldn't be betting, especially you playing in the NFL. So that's why he probably got that. But Deshaun Watson, I don't think we'll ever know the details of what happened in there. I think we got an idea what happened, because like I said, it wasn't rape, it wasn't force. So I think the judge, she made her decision. I think she know it was inappropriate. You can't be doing that, and that's why you got 6 games. So I think it will stick.
Gotcha. Yeah, the NFL does have until tomorrow to appeal, but I don't think that they will. And yeah, it's just kind of interesting though. Let's see what the slackers think. Anthony Weston says he thought he would have gotten more, but he doesn't have access to everything the decision makers do. NFL needs to have some type of standard, and that's true. If they had maybe like some type of more standard, then that would be easier for people to understand why they make the decisions. But I kind of agree. Like they must have been able to look at everything, and maybe there just wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
Unk says, really hope the allegations are false. Still really bad luck for him. And that's the thing that it's like unfortunate is that this is always going to come up in relation to his name and his play and his career. Like there's no way around that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much though, because Big Ben did it twice, and we kind of forgot about when he started winning Super Bowls. So,
but Big Ben is, I mean, I agree, but Big Ben got some different type of treatment because I still think that if he was in a different situation or looked at it upon it in a different light, then that wouldn't have happened, you know. He would have gotten closer to more of like a Michael Vick treatment, you know.
Right.
So I still don't know how that happened. Big Ben, he I don't know.
I still talk about this man to this day.
Yeah,
I ain't forget. I still call him Big Ben.
Yeah, we don't. But I'm talking about the media. They don't bring it up anymore. So I think that should be brought up. So
no, I agree. We got Facebook user in the building. Hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being with us today. But yeah, it's there's a lot. You know, I do appreciate the comments coming in. But Pop says that's the standard. 6 games is the standard for false allegations. But it is interesting. There was a few articles that came out with like kind of an accumulation of like all of the major suspensions over the past like 5, 6, 7 years. And it was interesting how many of them fell like in that like 4, 6, 8 range. So I don't know.
And at the end of the day, with Watson, he still got 230 guaranteed. So at the end of the day, he wins anyway. So
I mean, he did still, you know, he got he got out of Houston. He got his contract, his guaranteed money. So
half that going to 22 women though.
I don't think it's that much though.
Yeah.
Let's see. Speaking of getting their money, Metcalf and Deebo Samuel and DK Metcalf both signed extensions since we last met. Both are very similar. I think they were each like 3 years, 72 million, right around the same range for players that are in the same draft class. So that's really great for them. And right after that, too, A.J. Brown tweeted out that he was the only one that had to get traded to get his extension because we did start off the offseason talking about those young receivers, Metcalf, Samuel, McLaurin, and A.J. Brown, and they were all looking for extensions. They all have their money now, so that's great.
McLaurin got the deal?
Yeah, he got his deal as well. He got paid. He actually got paid the most out of them.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah. I think because his was I think he had an extra year on his extension, if I'm not mistaken. So
I thought both those guys would be somewhere else too, though. Samuels and Deebo. I'm surprised they both went back to the teams. I thought they were both out there, especially Deebo. I didn't know he was going the way he was kind of acting, but I don't know. But he has a weird thing on his too. He has to run the ball, I think, 380 yards or something for him to get another $2 million or something like that. Is that weird though?
Yeah. It is strange. They did put that in his contract. Like part of his incentives is specifically around like running the ball and being kind of like that running back hybrid. But it's interesting that like this offseason, he kind of said he didn't want to do that. But then with the contract, like, obviously he's willing to do it or they put it in there somehow. So that's interesting.
Because somebody said too that he has to do that. If he's just a receiver, he's not a great number one receiver. I ain't agree. I thought he still was a great receiver.
I disagree.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think he had a solid receiving year this year from just a receiver standpoint, or last year, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's just fine as just a receiver, but I think that dual threat makes him even more valuable.
The defense, you don't know how to guard him, so that's the one thing about the running part. Yeah, but I still think he's a great receiver, though.
I agree. Even if he just was purely winding up, out wide, he's still going to get his numbers. He's still going to do fine. So that was interesting though. A couple of kickers getting paid too. The Patriots punter and then Boswell, the Steelers kicker. It just shows kind of though to me. Let's see for instance, the Steelers kicker got 4 years, 20 million. Like it shows that type of money. Yeah, like it shows the type of money that it's kind of like switching and becoming a little bit different. But
is the Patriot? He's a punter though, right?
What's that?
He's a punter too, huh? The Patriot guy.
The Patriots guy, he's a punter and he does the kickoffs. So
But
And
he's not scoring no points though. Like, so why he getting paid?
he
Like, I
got
can see
4
the
years.
Steelers guy, he scored points.
Yeah.
But this other guy, I guess you putting him back, but that's crazy, man.
I know. It's just very interesting. I was thinking like I should have been a punter for sure.
You're not scoring no points. They say other guys putting points on the board to help and win the game. Like the punter, you can't really. Oh, I'm gonna punt the ball. We're gonna win it at this punt right here. You can't.
Right.
For real.
He ain't gonna be running off the field like just made that game winning punt.
You can. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, a couple other things though out of training camp. Some unfortunate news. Well, we have Pete Carroll and Kyler Murray both testing positive for COVID. Not really too big of a deal. They'll be out 4 to 5 days. But the bigger thing is I just kind of wanted to mention that the NFL officially has no COVID policies, and they're just basically like kind of following CDC standards, but there's no more like rules as there were the past couple of years, like specifically around if they can play, if they can't play. So just wanted to mention that. From like an NFL standpoint, they don't have any special COVID things anymore. So
they have COVID, they can still play. You meaning?
I mean, I think basically there's no like strict NFL standards, so it's just basically up to the teams to figure out how they want to kind of manage it. So I think that could end up happening. Like, say somebody's tested positive recently, but they're asymptomatic. Like maybe they're out there a little bit quicker than they would have been in years past based on like the other rules.
Got it.
So, another couple of things, sad news coming out of camp. The Washington for the Dallas Cowboys out 6 to 10 weeks with a fracture on the first day of padded practice. And then we got the wide receiver Patrick from the Broncos. He tore his ACL today and is out for the year.
Oh, that hurts. Dang.
It's just so tough too. And can you imagine like preparing for the season and everything, and like you just like you're out for the year, like before you even got a chance to get started?
Was he the number one receiver or was he number two?
Number two,
yeah.
Judy's number one,
three, depending on how it goes.
No, I'd say Sutton's number one.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right. Sutton is number one. You're right. Then okay, gotcha.
Judy, probably Judy.
But Patrick's the one that killed us last year, I think. Right.
Right. He kind of gave him that like extra threat for sure. So it's gonna be interesting. And then also for the Cowboys, they're down. Michael Gallup isn't gonna be ready for the start of the season, so they're down to not too many known receivers at this point. It's basically CeeDee Lamb and a bunch of other guys.
The rookie gonna start. He looks good in camp though, but even though James Washington, he wasn't like guy, but he could have still helped us with But
right.
I don't know. I think I don't know, man. It's that season. I'm nervous.
I know. I just hope that nothing more too happens. But I am definitely getting excited for football, and we do got to talk about the Hall of Fame game. The Hall of Fame game is Thursday, and that's the official start of preseason. That's going to be very exciting. I did want to mention that real quick, that it's basically here. Once the Hall of Fame game comes, then next week will be the rest of the preseason slate where we'll see different action. But this Thursday, we have the Jaguars and the Raiders in Canton, Ohio. And then this weekend, we have the class of 2022 that's going in. A kind of interesting class. Nothing too special for me, but definitely wanted to at least shout that out, that's going to be the big thing for this weekend to kind of officially kick off this new season of the NFL.
I'm surprised Butler made the Hall of Fame, but maybe his numbers is good.
It must have been, contributions to the game and all that. I know DeMarcus Ware, Richard Seymour, not Richard Seymour, he made it, but DeMarcus Ware, he was another one that was on the ballot. This was his first time. He didn't make it as a first timer, but I think he'll be in there.
He'll definitely get in there.
So
yeah.
But that's that. So I don't know. There's going to be there probably won't be a lot of starters playing in the game on Thursday, especially since camps just started, last week. So they're only a couple weeks into this, but it is going to be cool to see them go out there, see the uniforms trot out there. And Strizzy, I want to know specifically, are you going to be watching? Are you checking out the Hall of Fame game?
Probably not. I never.
I feel you would say that.
And the only reason why is because, like, you're right. I like no starters play in this game. Even like the second strings don't play in this game. It's literally like third string players and like called up from camp type dudes who are really trying to make this, team. So like I usually don't watch it unless I'm just like really bored at the crib and have like nothing else to watch. I might tune in for a little bit, but I usually miss it.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. All right. I think that was pretty much it for NFL talk. Anthony Weston is talking about Orlando Brown reported to camp. That's what's up. I think he's going to play under the tag, and whether he's there next year or not, at least they'll have him still for this year. Also, Anthony Weston saying CeeDee Lamb will get paid after this season. His numbers will be good. A lot of targets.
We'll see.
Hopefully he does his thing. I'm excited about that. Pops, 22 of Dak's 37 touchdowns went to different receivers. He can throw to anyone that can get open. No worries.
Thanks, Paul. That made me feel a lot better. So good. I like that.
There you go.
I didn't know that.
That was the record last year that he had so many different targets. But that's because he was throwing a lineman too. He was throwing to
Thank you, Pops. That make me feel I'm good now. I got the look. I'm not heavy no more. Thank you, Pops. I'll call you for any time I need to feel good. You'll say something to make me feel better.
He's got you. The last thing on here though, the Dolphins. I don't know if you guys saw about this, but the Dolphins did get in trouble today for tampering. They lost the first and the third round pick, and their owner was fined $1.5 million and suspended until the middle of October for tampering with not only Tom Brady but also Sean Payton before each of them were before Sean Payton announced his retirement.
Hey, that's worth it. That's worth it. That's two big names. Do what you got to do, dog. Do what you got to do.
The groundwork still might have been laid for something to happen in the future, whether they get these tampering fines or not. But
1.5 that's like $1,000 to him anyway. He all right, man. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So, but I did think that was interesting that they're trying to do stuff like that. We'll talk about it more with NBA talk too. But it's like we know these things go on. Like there's no way. But the cool thing about the Brady talks was kind of interesting was they were talking about making him a part owner too, like and potentially signing him and kind of giving him an ownership stake in the team. That's pretty cool. So, and Anthony Weston says, are they still dealing with the Flores lawsuit? They are. And the interesting thing is that I did want to mention is these allegations actually came as a result of the Flores lawsuit. So as part of the investigation that they did based on his lawsuit, and he did give them information about the tampering and about them trying to throw games as well. So that was one result of it, but they still have not addressed the fact that they apparently offered him $100,000 per game that he lost as a bonus. I don't think they'll ever admit to that publicly or that will ever come out, but at least they're kind of doing some kind of penalties. I don't know.
Does the Steelers play Dolphins this year?
I have to check
so.
I'm not sure.
I hope so, because that's gonna be nice.
They're gonna be blitzing left and right for sure. But that's what it is. So I think that's pretty much it for NFL talk. But I don't know. Strizzy, did you want to give us a camp update? What you've been seeing with the Panthers?
Panthers actually been, it's camp, you know what I'm saying? So they're going against, their own guys. People are trying not to get hurt or whatever, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from Baker. He found DJ Moore hella quick. Like they've been on a whole other level together. So I'm happy about that. I saw him throw a bomb to Robbie earlier today in double coverage. Sam Darnold threw an interception to Jeremy Chin already, you know what I'm saying, super quick. So I think they're literally already showing, like, Matt Rule was talking that mess of like, oh, we don't know yet who's gonna be, it's still pretty equal, but Baker will be quarterback one come week one. That's for sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't agree with that because I watched the podcast I'm Athlete with Robbie on there, and he's saying like Donald is the guy.
I don't
know, man.
I don't know. But
he took up for him. He said he
also done talking mess about Baker a little while ago too. So, but and Sam's kind of Robbie's dude going back to like
the New York. He said he never got a fast check yet. He said he's always been thrown in too early or never had a shot. So he was taking up for him big time. So I think he like it because is Robbie. Can he get the number one spot, or it's gonna be DJ Moore?
He ain't no way.
Is it that much better though?
Yes, it's not even close, man. It's honestly, it's not even close.
I don't know, man.
DJ Moore was like a top 3 receiver last year. Robbie Anderson wasn't even in the top 20.
No, but I'm saying 2 years ago when he was with the Jets last year, he had some great numbers, dog. I'm just saying.
He gets a lot over the top, but he just barely started like running routes,
Okay.
He used to be just like that deep threat kind of.
Okay.
But it will be interesting. I agree with what he's saying about Sam Darnold, but I think last year kind of showed like maybe I don't know. Maybe
Because he said CMC got hurt. He said that's why it went down. He said he needed CMC back there. He said when that happened, that's when they were 6-0.
I mean, they looked great for the first 2 games, but
I love CMC when what he does. And like when CMC's healthy, yeah, man, he's a game changer. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's just really hard for me, as much as I love Christian McCaffrey, to be like, oh yeah, one dude is the reason why Sam Darnold didn't have a good season last year. Nah.
Y'all was 6-0, right? Before you got hurt, or 5-0?
Before who got hurt?
CMC.
We were 3-0.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only 3? Oh,
yeah.
no, like at least 5 games. Okay.
No, it was 3-0.
And that's when Strizzy kept telling us, like, just settle down kind of thing, too. We're like, why aren't you excited?
But I wasn't excited because Sam's numbers weren't good. Like, we were winning because our defense was legit. We still weren't scoring touchdowns. So it was like Sam Darnold still wasn't playing well. We were winning because our defense started out hot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this year, though, I was thinking about maybe we need to do some like short recap videos, like each week have us a Cowboys report and a Panthers report that we kind of just put out onto the channel a little bit separately, so we can have a chance to really talk about our favorite team. So look forward to that. But that was the first ever Strizzy Panthers report. So that's what's up. But with that, let's go ahead and get it, keep this moving. Let's go to a lighter topic for this week. Let's hit it. All right, NBA talk. The biggest news for sure over the weekend. The Bill Russell's passing at 88 years old. Definitely rest in peace to the legend that he was as an activist and a human being, the way he carried himself, and as a winner too, as much as it pains me to say, because he was with the Celtics and he did play in an era where everybody was a foot short of him, but still, we got to give our roses to Bill Russell. I just put up there that picture, and then of course a couple of.
You could have left that out, man. God,
that wasn't the most disrespectful.
Not a foot. God dang.
Sorry, I did not mean to be disrespectful. I was trying to basically say, rest in peace.
True Laker fan.
I'm playing with you. I was weak. Say, even though
Laker fan.
No, but I do agree with Anthony Weston too, chiming in. He dealt with a lot of nonsense off court, and definitely became a big time activist, and was one of the early on type of athletes to do both. So definitely got to give respect for that, as well as his play on the court. So, any thoughts from you guys though on kind of Bill Russell, or just what your impact was?
Just one of those iconic players, you know what I mean? Means a lot to the game. I think everybody going in, regardless of how old they are, they know who he is. You know what I mean? A lot of these players today have never seen him play a single game, and so a lot of people just kind of like reached out. So that was actually really, really cool. But we're just kind of getting to that age where we're seeing a lot of these older legendary players starting to kind of pass a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely unfortunate, but I think he lived a pretty good life. You know what I'm saying? He got to live out a pretty strong amount of years, especially for an athlete. So athletes don't always get to see 80. You know what I mean? So that's what's up. A lot of accolades.
Agreed. Kelly in the building. Rest in peace, a true legend. 11 rings in 12 years. The guy had heart. That's for sure. Now imagine too, him and Kobe probably have some pretty legit conversations, and then maybe be watching some basketball together. But yeah, I did like that he still donned the Lakers jersey and everything like that, and kind of gave his respects too. So definitely a great guy. But that was the big basketball news as far as different things shaking the basketball world. We have KD still is untraded. It's been over a month long. Kyrie as well. I did read a little bit about the New Orleans Pelicans being a sneaky trade destination. I don't know how realistic that would be, but I think that they would have some young pieces to kind of give, and maybe KD with Zion. That would be pretty gangster, but I don't know if I see that happening. But I just kind of threw them up there as like a potential landing spot. But yeah, I don't know. There's nothing really more to report on that. We've kind of given our thoughts on the KD thing a lot, but the other NBA news is that they are looking into tampering violations against the Sixers, and then possibly the Knicks for Jalen Brunson's contract, and then as far as the Sixers for Harden and PJ Tucker, specifically because Harden declined his option early on in the before free agency started. and they kind of thought that there were some, conversations where they were probably already kind of agreeing on some contracts behind closed doors. But we've seen this in the past. I think last year was Lonzo Ball and the Bulls, or a couple of years ago, that they lost a draft pick and they, got a little bit of a fine. But again, I think this tampering thing. What's that?
Saying Kyle Lowry too with the Heat and Raptors.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your squad too. They were involved in it. But what do you guys think though? I think it happens probably on like 90%, 95% of these contracts. Like how they sign it like 1201 and they have all these terms figured out. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. So we'll see if they do get it. But I just think the tampering, kind of like Marcus, you were joking earlier, like it's probably worth it for some of these teams, like if they get the guy that they're going for. So
yeah.
Let's see. Anthony West says, you guys see Bronny and Bryce at the Lakers facility. Yeah, I did see that. They were all like in the layup line doing like a little dunking drill. And that was pretty cool for, to see. What did you think about that, Marcus, though?
It was nice. It just shows that Bryce is going to be that guy, not Bronny. But, I've been telling people this whole time. So,
yeah. I think that's a sneaky one. Even though he's younger, he's not next in line, so people don't really talk about him. But
everybody gonna be like, "We always knew." No, you didn't. Yeah, I thought Bronny was that guy, but just wait.
Come back.
I'm happy he's on wax.
For a while. I think Bryce. I'm with you, Marcus. I think Bryce is gonna be that dude, man. If anybody comes out of anything, it's hard to match up to your dad, but if anybody comes out of this, it's gonna be Bryce.
Gotcha. It is pretty crazy though how they live their lives. Not necessarily too publicly, but it's like everybody, commenting, like watching somebody grow up. That's kind of weird, It's just like, I don't know. That'd probably be a lot of scrutiny to be under. But I think that's pretty much it for NBA talk. One of our shorter ones, just weird, still gearing up for the off season, but it's really just the break time for all of that. So we'll report out if we get some KD news maybe next week. But I think it's gonna be a while. So. Keep it moving though. We'll go to our next one, and I definitely need to get Marcus's comments on this next topic. So let's hit this.
So what's next again?
Other sports?
Oh yeah, other sports. Okay, so not football.
Yeah, not basketball. We did that already.
Oh, okay, like hockey.
Yeah, like hockey. Feel me?
Okay, like baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Like soccer, right?
There we go.
Like soccer.
Like other sports.
All right, other sports. So the MLB trade deadline was today, and there was a lot of moves that was happening. There was a flurry, and I definitely want to talk about that. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about golf a little bit. We had Tony Finau winning back-to-back tournaments, last week and this week. He's doing his thing, heating up towards the end of the PGA Tour. But we also kind of had some live golf news. And the main one I wanted to hear your opinion about, Marcus, was that live golf reportedly offered Tiger between $700 and $800 million to join, and he turned it down. What do you think about that? Like, or what was your reaction when you heard that news?
I would have took it. I'm not letting that go. But right. Tiger dad was a serviceman. He was in the military, so he know what the Saudi people are like. He couldn't did it. His dad, it would probably have been a big blow for his family. So I think that's the big reason why he didn't do it. And then plus he has it already. He don't need it, but he could have used it. But right. I think he thought about his dad. If his dad was still living, how he would thought about him taking that money. So and he's definitely dedicated to the PGA tour. That's why all his records and stuff. That's why he made who he is. So and he's an older guy right now too. But if it was me, I'm taking it. 800.
He would have took his net worth from like $1 billion to like he would have almost doubled it.
I would definitely play at least a year with it, then maybe go back. But I'm taking that, man. I'm sorry, I'm taking that.
And they probably would have been like, you don't even need to play. Like you just need to show up. Like just be on.
We just need the face. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, but that's Tiger.
You'd be over there too.
Yeah, that's. What I love, I don't know. It's like I love Tiger to get that last major, you know what I'm saying? But like it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be really tough for him to grab it, but like that's a lot of money.
I don't think it's gonna be tough. I think you're gonna get 2 more before you're done. So I think, yeah.
They just pick the timing is gonna have to be right.
The timing is definitely gonna have to be right.
Yeah. I really think Tiger could have got really close this year Tiger just got. If you play golf, you know a player like his leg hurts because walking part, but the plan is still there. If he really wanted to practice and get more, he could have did better. But Tiger just going out there. I don't think he even practiced that much. He just went out there just to play. That's why he just did. But I think next year when he's really healed and he can because you could tell before he couldn't bend down. Look at read the greens. Now he's even bending down on his leg now. So it's just a matter of time when they get all the way healed. Tiger's he's definitely gonna get two.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
800 mil, dog. You gotta take that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Stephanie Washington in the building. What's good? What's good? Thank you for checking in with us. Hope you've been doing well. Stephanie posted a video of the Circa in Vegas like leaking crazy with the flooding. So hope everything's been good with the weather.
Yeah, I hope you got a boat.
That was crazy.
We got a boat.
But Anthony West says that's a lot to turn down, but he thinks he has a deal with PGA Tour unannounced. Maybe so. Maybe they were like,
not no 800 mil. I'll bet you that.
Right.
Ain't that? He might.
It
ain't even 500 mil. It ain't even 500 mil.
I don't know. But also then another person that reportedly there was interest apparently was Charles Barkley. Apparently there was some informal talks about them, having him on as like a personality or in some type of a role. Apparently he opened up and was saying kind of he was interested and he was kind of in a win-win position. But then since then has come out and said, he's going to stick with NBA, that's where he's kind of, he's going to stick with TNT. That's what he does, which makes sense. I just am curious, like, why couldn't he do both? Like what would be the problem with that? Or they just wouldn't want to be associated him at TNT if he was with Liv?
I don't know. And maybe too, they probably be playing around the same time too. Maybe when he's at TNT, they might have a tournament something like that too. So
gotcha.
They could be it, but that would have been that's a good idea for them to get Charles. That would have been entertainment for the best. So I think that would have been kind of cool to have him out there. And like I said, they gotta find a way to get somebody that's kind of like potty mouth and do some cussing and stuff. That will make people want to watch more. It's entertaining, So
yeah,
they gotta figure out something to do. So, but I don't know.
I think they're gonna keep building though. They do keep grabbing more and more golfers. They're continuing to kind of build their thing out. So we'll see. But the PGA Tour also has announced that their purse for next year, their total purse is going to be like over $440 million, which is going to be a record ever of the prize money that they're going to award. So it's already having an impact. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mom said, yeah, she's sure he has to be exclusive to TNT. So that's probably what it would be, that they would be like, yeah. Anthony said, Marcus, go put your name in the hat for Liv. Hey, we can see you out there on the floor.
I wish I was that good. I would. Maybe in 2 or 3 years. But right now, I ain't about to embarrass myself. I'll be honest. Like I'm getting better though. I'm definitely getting better, but I'm not ready for that yet. No,
yeah. Pop says greatest Tiger moment ever after winning. He had to answer a question about Kobe and he didn't know. That was crazy too. Like when he came off the course and they were like asking about Kobe and he was like, he didn't know. And like, I guess there were some people that were chanting or were saying some different things like while he was walking the last couple of greens. Tiger though, man, he's a pro as far as like just knowing what to say and controlling himself. And he did a great job in that situation. That was tough. But that's our golf update though. Interesting stuff though. I mean, I think it's cool though that the PGA Tour is exciting, but the Live Golf stuff is exciting to talk about too. So, let's see the fight we were kind of waiting for. Nunes versus Pena 2 went down kind of how we expected. Strizzy, were you able to kind of sneak a peek at the fight?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Nunes beat her up pretty bad, but she kept playing around a little bit. Like, I think she was really trying to send a message like the first time was a fluke because she was like, she was dropping her with like straight jabs, like as if she was getting her feet swept. She was dropping her so hard. Like she beat the crap out of her. She was like choking Nunes out for a little bit and she literally had blood just like dripping from her head. I haven't seen a fight that bloody in a really, really long time, especially for a female fight.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I hate. I'm not trying to be a poor sport, but I hate seeing ladies fight like that. I don't like it,
bro. It was horrible. I mean, like I said, like Nunes really.
It was so much blood on the mat. It was so much blood. I was like, I just don't.
And it was like close. it wasn't like regular cuts where they're like smearing it. Like it was like puddles. I really do think that she ended up having to go to the hospital for like a blood transfusion. Like she lost a lot of blood that night. And
But both of them was kind of beat up too. I know she got a couple of shots in.
Yeah,
but it just I don't know. I just me. I don't know if it's old school or what. But I just don't like to see ladies fight like that. I don't like
it was bad. It was like,
anybody. I would say anybody. You know, guys do it, but seeing and they good looking ladies too. You know, it ain't like they men look good, pretty good. So
nah, man. Mark is right. It's like two dudes fighting. Like it was crazy. Like it was pretty bad, man. And like I said, Nunes just completely dominated the entire fight. She put herself in some really bad situations for not finishing the fight, though. Like she almost got put in like 3 arm bars or like in like 1 triangle. Whereas just like if you keep messing around, like you're gonna end up submitting again. Seriously, like I'm like, don't go 5 rounds or 3-4 rounds beating the crap out of her just to lose by submission. So,
do they get paid pretty good, Triz?
Yeah, especially the champions do.
They do.
So
okay.
like they don't make money like boxers do. Boxers still make more money than they do.
Okay.
But as a championship fights, like the championship, to main event pay-per-view, they definitely they make some pretty decent. They make some pretty good. Yeah. Especially their bigger names, like Amanda Nunes, that's one of their bigger names. I don't want to say even for, but for the women's division, she's getting paid pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah. She was the main event.
I think it showed though that it was dominant enough to where there shouldn't be a third fight. I think Pena might want one, but I don't think that they should do that again.
Not to mention, you got to remember their first fight. Nunes had some issues. 2 weeks prior to the fight, and so I don't want to make that as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? But you can kind of tell she wasn't Amanda Nunes in that first fight, and this one she beat her up pretty damn bad.
Yeah. For sure. All right. Well, that was that. I don't know what the next big UFC fight coming up is, but I'm still kind of waiting on the return of John Jones, if that would ever happen. I'm not holding my breath, though. But as far as Premier League soccer, it begins Friday. All the big major European leagues are going to be starting this weekend. So that's very exciting. Arsenal is kind of a part of the kickoff game. So I'm going to be probably flying my colors for that one. So watch out for that. Maybe we'll get some soccer news here and there. And then the last thing we have on the far left is a baseball. So this baseball trade deadline was very, very fast and furious. There was a lot of people going all in. I would say the Yankees and the Astros were big time buyers. I put up, kind of who they put or who they grabbed, but then also the Padres. They made the big trade. They traded for Juan Soto, and they also got Josh Bell from the Nationals, and they're looking to put themselves in a better position for the playoffs. They still can't probably catch the Dodgers and win their division, but they're definitely trying to load up. And I don't know, though. I think the Astros, Yankees, these are both division leaders that got a lot better. So I don't know, Marcus, I think your boys did pretty good. I think that they're pretty exciting, but the Yankees, they did grab a couple arms, a big-time reliever and a starter, and then some more outfield pieces. So we'll see how this plays off down the stretch, but I think it's going to be an exciting playoff race. And definitely an exciting playoffs after all these moves.
We know Trevor happy right now. I wish we got his comment right now.
He's I actually hit him up earlier today. He's in Europe, so if he's out and about, he might not even know the news yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Or he might be sleeping too. It might have happened already when it's too late.
So that's what I didn't see. So because he turned down, how much did he turn down from the? Was it like 400?
It was like 440 million, 14 years, 440 million, something like that.
So what was his contract with the Padres?
He's still under the same contract, but his contract's up at the end of this year. So they're gonna try to work out an extension now. They didn't sign him yet to a long term.
Oh, okay,
they'll try to work out an extension, or he'll be a free agent at the end of this year and go somewhere else. The Padres did give up 6 players for him and one other player. So I have a feeling that they're gonna try to pay him big time, but he'll still get his payday still.
Okay. It must have been something bad though, right, for him to get out of there, trying to get out of there like that.
I don't know. I just think he was going for more per year or something. Okay. And also the Washington, apparently they might be changing owners, so he wasn't sure about the future. So I think he was just like, let me go and get some big time money.
Yeah.
But we'll see. If the Padres don't work out something with him before the end of the year, then it's going to be the Yankees, the Dodgers, those type of big market teams that are going to be willing to pay him a lot of money. So So we'll see. Hosmer, who was the first baseman for the Padres, he actually had a no trade list, so he was going to be included in the trade back to the Nationals, but they were on his no trade list. So instead, he was flipped to the Boston Red Sox because they were basically like, we need to get him up out of here. Now we don't need another first baseman. So very interesting, though, how many deals were going on. And as Anthony Weston alluded to here, the Royals threw in the towel, as he said here. The Royals, they did trade a lot of players, including my favorite Royal, Whit Merrifield.
So it did happen from Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby was right on that. He was like, they're about to trade everybody. They basically got rid of all of our guys except for Perez, like as far as like our old school guys. Like our 2015 World Series team is pretty much mostly gone.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of new talent coming up through the farm system, and they're going to get a chance to play the rest of this year, and then we'll see. And they got a couple pitching prospects, so hopefully things will be better, but they continue to kind of be in that rebuild. So I don't know. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for other sports, though. There's a lot more, MLB deals that went down, but I definitely want to highlight kind of who are the bigger movers and things like that. But looking at the list, I think that's pretty much it, though.
Primarily, yeah.
Yeah.
Tatis Jr.'s not back yet, right?
No, he's still not back yet. But they have their other guys. They have Machado. So they're gonna be good, but that's the funny thing. The Padres know they're still gonna be a wild card team. They really can't catch the Dodgers realistically, but they're gonna try to just load up, and when they go into the playoffs as a wild card, be ready hopefully to battle. So
yeah, I think you're 100% right. The Dodgers are a little just too far ahead at this point in time, but man, Juan Soto's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. He's good, man. He's a really good hitter. So their bats just increased, tremendously. So it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, most definitely. The other thing I have on here too, this little bulldog over here on the right, that's Lewis Hamilton's bulldog. Lewis Hamilton, the race car driver, Formula One race car driver, he joined the Broncos ownership group, so he's going to be one of the bigger investors in the new Broncos ownership, and they're set to finalize everything later this month, and this will be their first season. So I thought that was kind of cool, but he celebrated by putting his bulldog. He always has his bulldog with him, so.
Nice.
I just thought that was pretty cool, but yeah. So some different things. Let me see in the comments. Oh, Anthony Weston says, interesting. Is San Diego supposed to be a small market team? They have a Yankees payroll. They do. They're just going all in though. They're really going for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think if it bears them a World Series, maybe not this year, but in the next couple of years, I think that'll be worth it. So, all right, that's what's up. So. I think we got a little bit of time left here. I don't know if you guys want to do any other random questions or like a this or that or anything like that. I was just trying to see if there's any other comments we kind of missed. Anthony Weston, why are the Athletics operating on a budget when Golden State is spending crazy? Man, though that I don't know. I've been to see the Oakland A's and not a lot of people.
That was like Golden State selling out arenas and winning championships. That's why.
Right. But that's what's up though. Definitely a lot of things going. I am excited for the Hall of Fame game as far as not necessarily watching it, but just what it indicates for us, which is the start of football season. I do hope people can stay healthy through camp, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to because we know once football season starts, basketball will be right around the corner, and then we'll be right back into our busy season. So
yeah, it's gonna be wild.
That's what it is. But I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up. Wrap it up here. We still almost made 50 minutes. That's what's up. We always are about an hour. We usually go over. But I figured with NBA Talk 2 having like not too much that we would kind of maybe make it in a little bit under clip. So not necessarily a record, not necessarily a SLAC Express, but yeah. Let's see. Kelly says, any college football news? Let's see. Exactly 1 month from tomorrow, September 3rd is when Georgia kicks off, and that'll be like that first big kickoff weekend of football. So not really any news, but just the countdown is for that too.
Didn't USC head coach from Oklahoma, didn't they get in some trouble or something?
Oh no, really?
Yeah, he did a press conference about I guess one of the players about money issues. So I didn't get the whole thing about it, but I seen it today. They were talking to him about it. So
got you. I don't know. I'll have to look up on that one, and I might have to regroup for next week on the Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley, that's his name, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there were some interesting things, and a lot of players followed him from Oklahoma out there, And for him, it's one of those things. This is the same way like Lane Kiffin left for USC. It's like they get them in the middle of the night. They promise them all the money. They're like, you got to go now. They're like, take off all your gear from your old school and just get out here now. It's crazy.
I think that quarterback that went with him too. I think he's going to become a starter this year. Being in USC, being in California, I think he's gonna make his way at least be a top 3 pick next year because he's gonna be a stud.
I think Caleb Williams I think we would have been a lot better off if we would have had him starting the full year and not getting him in mid-year.
Yeah,
we still weren't beating fucking Georgia or Bama, but I think we would have been a lot better off.
I think the other quarterback, if he stayed, gonna be like a little punk and lead. I think he'll be the guy for next year. But he already.
I know Oklahoma was left scrambling. Like when that happened, like so many of their players were already in the portal. So many of their players left after that too. So they're gonna have to bounce back a little bit. But they're a big program, so they'll definitely have some people. So
yeah,
we'll see. But Texas,
we don't care about them.
Right? I know
anybody.
I'm just excited for those days, though, especially being out here on the West Coast, that we can wake up 9 a.m. is kickoff and all day long college football. Like, it's so exciting, man. I really do like college football, so I'm excited for that too. All right, and then we got a little recommendation too. Jamarcus Russell interview on Ryan Clark's podcast.
I'm watching that next. I've been watching all that podcast. They have a couple of good ones. I watched the one with Ashanti Samuel. Very good podcast. Because Ashanti, I didn't know. I knew he was pretty good, but to watch that and watch how he animated, how he talk about things, it makes you like him. Even though he's an Eagle, it makes you appreciate his game and how he was, man. I really like Ashanti Samuel now, man. He was a good guy.
All right, that's what's
up. I would watch that one.
Check that out.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what it is. But definitely want to thank everybody for being with us. We'll be back next week for episode 154 as we keep this thing moving with more news, maybe even a KD trade. Who knows? But until that time, we out. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy.
Rest in peace. Bill Russell, man. Peace
Sure.
out.